Good evening and welcome to the 15th session of Listen and Learn webinar. So today our topic is medical ethics and Advocate Shinsa P Mathew will be talking to us regarding the same. So Advocate Shinsa is an assistant professor at VIT School of Law, and she would be talking to us regarding the code of conduct and misconducts of a doctor in his or her clinic and several more. So welcome Advocate Shinsa P Mathew, and over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ajula. Good evening, one and all. So today we will be dealing with the medical ethics with special reference to Ayurveda. Dr. Ajula, can you enable me to share the screen?
Yes, you can share the screen now.
Yeah, hope it is visible for you.
Yes, it is. You can continue.
Yeah. So when we start about medical ethics, it's very relevant to talk what is ethics. So the common meaning for ethics is character. So whatever is good in our character or good in our behavior, that is what we say as ethics. When you compare law with ethics, the main differentiation between law and ethics is regarding its enforceability. So if you want to define law very simply, we can say that it's rule of conduct prescribed by the state. So it will be common for everybody. When it comes to the case of ethics, it's not common for everyone. It's just the principles that regulate the human conduct or human character. It will be different for each person. And if you look into the theories of ethics, we can see there are three theories for ethics: normative theory, meta-ethics theory, and applied theory. So what is this applied ethics or applied theory of ethics? When you come to the practical application of ethical theory in a life situation or in a given situation, that is the applied aspect or applied ethics. So it can be divided into two: professional ethics and administrative ethics. Whenever you use your ethics or apply your ethical values when you are in relation with other human beings, it is administrative ethics. And if you talk about professional ethics, being in a profession, our professional behavior or our professional conduct is ruled by certain norms, which is fixed by a professional organization. The aim of such a control is to maintain your behavior as an individual to the society or towards your fellow employees within your professional activities. That is the aim of professional ethics. And coming to the medical ethics, and when we speak about the code of conduct of medical practitioners, it is sure that we should begin from the traditional medicine and also from the Hindu belief. So according to the fundamental basis of ethics in Hindu belief, we are all part of divine Paramatma. So it is the supreme individual self. We strive for that supreme individual self. And Ayurveda, you know, it's the ancient science of life, and it is very relevant, the words of Vakpada, that is regarding always the happiness is linked with our righteousness in our activities. So he's the first person to link spirituality and ethics with our lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. And when it comes to Charak Samhita, you know, it's a wide code of conduct. So Charak Samhita says that the best physician is who practices out of the compassion to his fellow beings or living beings. And he should not be guided by money or the economic interest. So as you know, at ancient times, families were having their own physicians, and these physicians were treated as their own family members. and even as God, and they were highly honored. And such physicians were having three basic qualities, that is empathy, karuna, or friendship, and professional detachment. Professional detachment is actually important among this because the physician should not have any personal relationship with the patient. It's a divine relationship, so it should not be personal. And when the medical team is constituted or contains four components: physician, patient, nurse, and drugs. Physician should be pure at heart, patient should be obedient, nurse should be lovely, intelligent, and should be affectionate. And according to Vagbada, there are totally 16 qualities. When all these 16 qualities of these four components comes together, it determines the success of the treatment. These are all our beliefs. And when you come to modern times, we know that the value of traditional medicine is still relevant and it's very notable. WHO also accepted the role of traditional medicine and they came up with a WHO traditional medicine strategy 2014-2023, and it aimed at supporting the member states with regarding to in policies and implementing action plans for strengthening the traditional medicine. So still traditional medicine play a very good role in maintaining the population's health. That is to be noted. Then coming to the Ayurvedic field, you know that Ayurveda Medical Association of India is the organization which you belong to. So it was formed in the year 1978 by combining or uniting two different organizations, Ayurveda Medical Association and National Ayurveda Medical Association. So now this AMAI is considered to be the biggest organization with largest number of qualified Ayurvedic practitioners. And if you want to be a member of this particular organization, you need to have the prescribed qualifications. What are those qualifications? If you want to know the qualifications, you have to look into a statute, a legislation. That is the Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. So the chapter 3 of this particular legislation, this particular act, deals with the qualifications, required qualifications of a medical practitioner. So there are schedules attached to this act. Schedule 2, 3, and 4 deals with the approved qualifications and institutions. It's a very long list, a state-wise list. So there you can see these qualifications. Now coming to the Code of Ethics. At the time of your registration, you know that you have to register with the Medical Council of India. At the time of registration, you have signed a declaration. I don't know how many of you have read that terms and conditions in that declaration. This declaration is actually attached to Appendix 1 of Code of Ethics Regulations 2002. So now we are just going to look what are the contents of this Code of Ethics and what you are assuring by signing such a declaration. So let us see that. Basically, it is having 8 chapters. So the first chapter actually deals with the duties and responsibilities of the physician generally. So a physician should always uphold his dignity and honor of his profession. And he should do service to the humanity and he should have all the prescribed qualifications prescribed by the Medical Council of India. And he should be registered with Medical Council of India. And he should be a good medical practitioner. Good medical practitioner means he should maintain the dignity as well as he should gain the confidence of the patient. He should be a member of the medical society, can be any society. Then he should maintain the records of treatment. Whenever a patient approaches him, he should maintain a record of that. He should always display the register number along with his name. And when you make prescriptions, always use the generic names of the medicines. Never use the company names. And even if you belongs to an institution or a clinic, even if you work with a hospital or a clinic, you should assure the best quality of treatment or patient care. And if your colleagues are doing some kind of unethical conduct, or your institution is doing some kind of unethical conduct, expose it to the concerned authority. That's your duty. As a citizen of India, you have to obey the rules and regulations in the country and should not assist others to evade law. As a physician, you should not be guided by your personal financial interest. Always service should be at the top. And when it comes to the case of patient physician relation, patient doctor relation, what are your duties? As you know that when you talk about ethics, there is lack of enforceability. Only when it comes to the code of ethics, it is enforceable. So you are not obliged to treat all the patients coming before you. But as a part of your ethics, you should attend all the persons coming to you, approaching you as sick or injured. If you are having some kind of incapacity to do or perform your duties, you should not do that. Because ultimately, if you are unable to do something and if you are performing that, ultimately the patients will be affected. And the three best qualities of a physician is patience, delicacy, and secrecy. Now, when a patient comes before you, don't exaggerate or minimize the gravity of his condition. Disclose the truth to him. And none of your questions should be neglected on any grounds, like any caste, religion, sex, or economical background. You should not neglect any of your patients. When you come to your consultation room, there are some duties and responsibilities. Don't make any unnecessary consultations. Please avoid it. And don't ask the patients to approach a pathologist or radiologist or diagnostic lab. Don't refer to all these kinds of labs unnecessarily. Always the consultation should be for the benefit of your patient, and be punctual to your consultation room. And whenever you treat a patient, hand over his statements or medical records. And if you happens to treat a patient who belongs to another physician, before prescribing a treatment or before prescribing a medicine, just consult with his physician. That is necessary. And when a patient enters into your consultation room, your fees and other charges should be displayed there. Along with that, your name, designation, qualification, and registration particulars should be there. Especially your registration number should be there. It's for the reference of your patient. And now, coming to the responsibilities, your responsibilities with your fellow physicians. So as a part of your duty, sometimes you might be asked to visit the patients of other physicians. Don't show any kind of insincerity there, or don't show any kind of enmity there. And if a physician is approaching you for an advice, because in your area specializations are there, so if a physician is having a patient and if he wants further reference with you, he might be approaching you. Don't charge any fees for that. Now, if a physician is asking you to take his duty on his absence, you have to do that. But take care that if you are unable to maintain your duty and his duty, don't do that. And if you're not qualified, not properly qualified to take his duty or perform his duty, please don't do that. Avoid that. And as a part of your duty or your shift, if you are visiting the patient of other physicians, always consult him just to know what were the treatments given to him or what were the medicines given to him. Now coming to the duties and responsibilities of a physician to the public or paramedical profession. As I said, as a person belonging to the public, you should always ensure that you obey the laws of the country and you play a part for enforcing the laws of the country. And Always give importance to humanity. And when you work as a part of public health, make the people aware of the epidemic, then the quarantine, then the measures to be taken to avoid such epidemic. Should not abandon from your duty during such times. You might be afraid of getting affected by such diseases, but should not abandon from the duty. And regarding paramedical staff, as you know that you cannot work without the support of paramedical staff. Respect their profession. Respect them. That is very important. Now let us see what are the unethical acts in the medical field. Advertising, any kind of advertisement through media or through press or through any posters, displaying any posters. These are all some kinds of advertising. Don't do advertisements. Then violation of patent copyrights. If some treatment methods are patented or some equipments are getting patented, you should not violate that. And if you're having some, if you are a holder of a patent, use it for the benefit of the society. Never run a medical shop or a surgical shop. Asking your patients to go and get the medicine from such open shops is treated as unethical act. Don't get the commission or rebate from medical companies. Secret remedies. Secret remedies, we mean that if it is not an approved method of treatment or it's not an approved medicine or approved tablet you are prescribing, it's a kind of secret remedies. Should not do that. You should not do anything in violation of human rights. Euthanasia, as you know, it is illegal. It's not practiced in our country. So do not encourage that or do not do that. Now, what is misconduct in medical field? Let us see that. Violation of any regulations in your field is considered to be a misconduct. And if you are not maintaining proper medical records of your patients, it is a misconduct. You should always display your registration number. If you are not displaying the registration number, that is also a misconduct. And within your field, if you are undergoing some adultery or improper conduct, it will be taken seriously by the medical council. And if you get convicted under any criminal law in the country, it's a ground for disqualification. Sex determination test. It's illegal in our country. So if you are helping any persons for sex determination, that is misconduct. As a doctor, you are supposed to sign certain documents, reports, certificates, etc. So without proper examination, if you are signing such documents, it is misconduct. Or if you are not properly qualified to sign such a certificate or report, you should not do that. And as a medical practitioner, you should be aware of Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Whatever you do in contravention with Drugs and Cosmetics Act, if you are prescribing a prohibited medicine, that's in contravention with Drugs and Cosmetics Act. So it's a misconduct. And abortion is also illegal in our country. And in special circumstances, abortion will be allowed by the court. And with the court order, you can do that due to the medical conditions of the patient or as a result of rape. Such abortions are permitted, that can be done, otherwise not. And regarding coming to the area of advertisement, if you are releasing some articles or if you are giving your interview to a media regarding the diseases and treatments, and if it is in the nature of your own advertisement, it is a misconduct. And the most important one is should not disclose the secrets of your patient. So if you want to know the recent example of it, I can give you the example of the actor Sushant Singh. After his suicide, his father filed a complaint before the medical council against his psychiatrist, Susan Walker, stating that she disclosed about his mental ill health. So if your patient is having any mental ill health or disease, or if he is disclosing about his personal habits, you should not disclose it. If the court of law asks you to submit the report regarding it, you can do that. Or if the patient is having some diseases like HIV, you can disclose it. It's in public interest. Otherwise, you cannot disclose such reports or such records. Now, using the photographs or reports of your patients for the study purpose or for teaching the students or for your advertisement, it is not permitted. If the patient permits you to use that for your personal purpose or any research purpose or something like that, then you can use it. Always perform the operations with consent only. If it's an emergency situation, sometimes operations can be done without consent. Otherwise, the consent of the family members or close friends are very necessary. You should never appoint an agent to procure patients. And clinical trials are illegal in our country. Should not make any person to undergo clinical trials. And if such unethical practices or misconducts are done, what is the remedy, or how you will be affected? That's another question. So a person can file a complaint before the Medical Council of India regarding unethical practices or misconduct. And if such a complaint is received by the Medical Council of India, they will constitute a disciplinary committee and they will inquire into the matter. You will be given a chance to represent yourself. You can present your case before them. And if they found that you are guilty, then they can punish you. Punishment in the sense your registration can be cancelled for lifetime, or your registration can be cancelled for a specific period according to the gravity of your misconduct. And if such an action is taken, what they will do is that they will communicate this to a local press, local newspaper. It will be advertised. It will be given in a local newspaper, and as well as they will communicate this factor to the association in which you are a member. So even after such a measure, if you are continuing your practice, that's again a misconduct. So this is the effect of the misconduct or unethical practices. So while you practice, when you do any activity in capacity of a physician, you have to keep all these points in mind. And as I said, ethics is the character. As a physician, the code of ethics should be a part of your character. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Advocate. And thank you for your time. It was very enlightening. Next we'll have our Q&A session. So the first question is, can you explain the code of ethics?
Code of ethics, I told you about professional ethics. So in each profession, they will be having a set of ethics which is to be followed within their profession. If you take the case of advocates, then Advocates Act is there. Like that in medical field, you have to practice these ethics which are coming under Code of Ethics Regulations 2002. It will be amended time to time accordingly. Till 2010, this Code of Ethics 2002 got amended. And it's not that it's a exclusive list of ethics. As a doctor, you will be having personal ethical values. But these are basic ethical values to be followed by a doctor.
Okay, thank you. And what's its importance?
Sorry?
What is its importance? What's the importance of medical ethics?
Yes, first importance you have to take care is these ethics or code of ethics is enforceable. This is having the value of a law. I told you when I was talking about the difference between law and ethics, The ethics we follow in our personal life, it's not enforceable. It depends on each person. But this code of ethics, it is enforceable. If you are violating this code of ethics, you will be faced by some kind of punishments, sanctions. That is the importance. And as a doctor, personally, and as a doctor also, you have to go through this code of ethics.
Okay. So is this similar in other countries also? The code of
If you
ethics.
ask, is it similar? It will be similar. But this Code of Ethics Regulation 2002 is not applicable in other countries. Each country will be having a medical council and they will be fixing the code of conduct there. If you take the other case of other countries, they will be having associations to which their professional belongs and there will be a council under which they register. So they will prescribe the code of conduct there. It is applicable only for India.
Can you explain unethical acts one more time?
Unethical acts.
Yes, yes.
So I told you about advertising. Advertising is no way allowed in profession of doctor. Not only in the profession of doctor, in case of advocates or any professional course, it's not allowed. Then regarding patent and copyright, as you know that in medical field, patents are medicines will get patented, treatments, the method of treatments will get patented, then the equipments which you use for surgery and for other purposes, it will get patented. So it cannot be violated. It is a serious unethical practice. Then running a medical shop. A doctor cannot run a medical shop. That is unethical. Then getting commission or different gifts from the medical representatives who represents the medical companies. So many doctors do that. That is unethical. Then always use approved methods for your treatment, approved medicines for your treatment. Otherwise, it is unethical. You cannot experiment on your patients. And if you are doing anything against human rights, if your treatment is going to harm the patient's life, that's against the human rights. That is unethical. Then euthanasia. Euthanasia, you know, whatever the condition of the patient is, since it is illegal in India, a doctor cannot prescribe euthanasia. Euthanasia is legal in some other countries, there they can do it, but till the date it's not legal in India. So it cannot be prescribed by a doctor. So these are some of the unethical acts according to the Code of Ethics Regulations 2002.
Okay, thank you. Is abortion an ethical act?
If you talk about the abortion, then we have to speak it in a religious way and in a legal way. So certain circumstances, abortion is legal. That means, for example, if it's a rape victim, then within 3 months, abortion can be done with the court's permission. But the same rape victim, if she is coming at the month of 8 for an abortion or approaching the court for abortion at the 8th month, court will not allow that. In such a circumstance, if a doctor is doing abortion for her, that is a misconduct or it's not permitted by law. And there are some religious beliefs or backing for this avoiding abortion. Abortion is considered to be a sin according to the religious beliefs. And that is also the backing for why we are treating abortion illegal or abortion an unethical act. This is a situation. So if the patient is affected by her pregnancy in any way, within certain period of time, abortion can be done. Otherwise, no.
Okay. Uh, One more question. Disclosing patient secrets is unethical. So, but
Yes.
if it is in a de-addiction case, and if the patient is a minor, so what stand should be taken then?
Disclosing means disclosing to the public. If we are disclosing the condition of a patient to his parents or family members, it is not unethical. You can do that. But when you disclose especially in case of a minor, if you are disclosing such a fact, it is unethical and it's a clear case of misconduct. If you are telling his name and what was his activity, if you are publishing it in a newspaper, and or if you are telling that in your interview with his name, that's a clear case of misconduct. You can do that in certain circumstances. I told you the diseases like HIV. So the society will get affected if such a information is not given to the public. The people who is coming in contact with him will get affected. So such informations can be disclosed. But regarding the mental health or personal matters of a patient, if you are disclosing, it is a misconduct and medical council will be taking it very seriously.
Okay, thanks a lot. So thank you so much for your time and your presentation. So now I call upon Dr. Jayalekha for the vote of thanks.
Thanks to Adv. Shinsa for the presentation. It was so nice and informative. Thanks to Sri M.K. Shashiran, the chairman of Rishabhadri Charitable Trust, for this event. Thanks to our coordinators for the support and the participants for the valuable participation. Thank you.